Hey guys, welcome back. Today I'm going to be looking at all the plants that I bought in 2019. Now I'm only going to talk about the plants that I still have. 2019 is a significant year just because that's when I first started my journey when it comes to growing plants. And I'll just put a picture here of this shelving situation. You know, I did start with more common plants, so there's a bunch of pothos that ended up having mealybugs. I just threw that away. There's an Alocasia, poly, a Schefflera. I guess this is the first video of a 4-part series. Sounds weird calling it a series. But in each video, I'm going to show you plants that I got in each year and kind of an update. So the next video in the series will be plants in 2020, plants that I got in 2021, and then finally plants that I got this year in 2022. I'll briefly talk about her because she was my very first rare plant, I guess, but the Monstera Thai constellation. So yesterday I put out a video talking about my oldest plant and just kind of a journey. So if you want the details about the whole journey of my Monstera Thai constellation, you can watch that video. But basically, here's a picture. I don't have a picture that's earlier than this of the Thai constellation. I don't know why. At this point, she was in an aroid mix. I guess at this point, it's December 2019. This plant means a lot to me, not only because, you know, she's one of my biggest plants and because she's grown so well for me, but I learned so much from growing it, propagating. I learned a lot about root health with this plant, and yeah, it's been a cool 3 years with this plant. So yeah, I'm not gonna say much about her, but I am planning maybe in a week or two to put out a complete guide to growing a Monstera Thai constellation. Anyhow, first plant, Monstera Thai constellation. Okay, so the second plant, I showed this Hoya recently in a planter video just briefly, but the second plant is the Hoya kerrii albo marginata. And actually this was a birthday present that my boyfriend got me. Okay, I think the earliest picture I have is from February 2020. I got this plant in September 2019, but I couldn't find any pictures. All those leaves at the bottom, I have no credit in regard to growth because I got her with that many leaves. As you can see, what was I doing? Look, there's two bamboo things, and I'm just kind of letting it go between them. What's happening here? At this point, I mean, this was kind of my first Hoya, and so I wasn't familiar with the tendril and needing support. It was just interesting. And then after that, I was like, oh, I think I want to try propagating it. So I actually cut it all the way back. I'm pretty sure I cut it back to having just 2 leaves on it, and all the propagations died. I put them in water, they all kind of rotted. So I was left with a plant with just 2 leaves. And because she wasn't doing anything, I decided to put her into LECA. I mean, I think she did okay, but I put her into LECA. She was probably living in LECA for a year. And then I just thought that she would do okay in pon. So that's the medium that she's in now. I'll just show you. So here she is. She looks pretty, guys. She looks really pretty. I have a weird relationship with this plant, a really, really weird one. I'm not gonna lie. I ignore this plant a lot. And it was just funny because even though I ignored her a lot, I just kept the reservoir, you know, pretty close to full. And there was a point that I actually overwatered it. Right after that, she took off. You can see here that I cut her. And the reason why I cut her, the tendril grew, it was almost to the ceiling. But because I wasn't paying attention to it, because I kind of forgot about her, the same thing happened where she didn't have any leaves. I cut her back. She's now growing at 2 different nodes. So that's one. These 2 leaves right in front of you. And the second one is this leaf here, and then she's actually pushing out growth from bottom one here. Look how cute. This Hoya really taught me, you know, and kind of challenged what people were saying about Hoyas. What I heard in the past, if they have succulent leaves like this, then they prefer to be drier. Again, I've had this plant in LECA, I've had this plant in pon, and they've always had, you know, a half full reservoir. So they always had access to water. I'm kind of disappointed myself because she could have been a bigger specimen if I just paid attention to her. But now looking back, I really can appreciate this plant a lot. My 2019 plants really, really mean a lot to me, and I can't let go. Like I really can't. Does anyone have this plant? Because I haven't really seen it in a while in like people's collections. It's a beautiful plant. I know like people don't necessarily like it. She's so pretty. You can see she's on 2 hoop bamboo trellises. I don't want to put this plant on a moss pole. Let me know what y'all think. Have you tried that? Have y'all tried growing like a Hoya on moss poles? These stems are so stiff. Like good luck trying to bend them. Definitely, I think if it has something to lean on and climb on, she can definitely be happy on a moss pole, but we'll see. I think this plant prefers high light. Y'all know me and Hoyas and light. Like I blast them with light. When I mistakenly put a lot of water in the reservoir of this plant, she was under 2 LED lights. So 2 Sunblaster LED lights, and she was fine. I mean, the leaves look fine. These are the same leaves, and they look cute. Because she was getting too tall, she was over here. I put her against my west facing window, but there's still a grow light. And I have 4 other Hoyas that are in that same situation, and they have really taken off. So I really believe that this Hoya does like high light. I've had this Hoya in a lower light place before, and she really didn't do anything. And I mean, there's other factors too. Like maybe now that she's established in her medium, whether it's Pon or LECA, now she's like finally taking off, and that might be another reason. But yeah, that's just what I've seen. Also, I remember this plant was between like $30 to $40, and I was shook. This was a time where I was like, okay, like plants are like $10 or like 20 max. Can you believe that's so wild, guys? Anyhow, the second plant, Hoya kerrii albomarginata. Okay, the third plant. You'll see with these plants, a lot of them are pieces of what I used to have. So I will include a few clips of, you know, how big she got. But the third plant is the Philodendron billietiae. Yeah, for a while, this plant was probably one of my favorites. I remember, and even before I got the billietiae, I got the pink princess, and the pink princess and the billietiae really opened the door and introduced me to the Philodendron family. I have a few clips from my phone that I didn't post anywhere. I'll just pop in the clip from September 2019. Wow, oh my gosh. This looks amazing. So this plant is known for its long leaves, but also having the orange stems over here. This one looks like it's in really good shape. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 leaves. It looks like there's new growth coming, so I'm really excited about this one. I mean, really good specimen. It's funny because watching that video back, it probably is bigger than what I have right now. Because I only have 2 plants left. So let's talk about her a little bit. This was one of the first philodendrons that I transferred into LECA. And when I had her in the aeroid mix, she wasn't really doing well. Like there was a point where she did push out a leaf, but it was very small. And I wasn't really happy with the growth. I really knew that there was so much potential with this plant. And so I threw her into LECA. I think I have a picture of when, you know, I took her out of soil and I put her into LECA. And I mean, she really took off. The next clip I'm going to include is from when I propagated her. I really need to include this clip because a part of me did regret propagating this plant. I found that propagating this plant took a long time, like on average, than other philodendrons. It's a situation, okay. Again. Can y'all see this? This is chaotic. Oh my gosh, every time I hold this up, I like don't want to do it. Am I changing? No, I have to do it. So, okay, let's admire her first. Look at this leaf. Oh, how are we feeling? How are we? The air is gonna go inside my nose. Hold on. Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1. Look at this. Guys, it's hanging. What do? I'm panicking. I'm blacking out. Oh my God, no. Okay, guys, this is the top cutting. Look at these leaves. Oh. But yeah, do you know what I mean, guys? Like she was so big, and I mean the petioles were so long, she was attacking everyone. So I propagated her, I put her into water. There were a lot that rooted. Fast forward, okay, but I had the top cutting in LECA in a big bucket. I kept 3 in Lechuza Pon, and I put 2 in an aeroid mix. Similar to what I was doing with the Thai constellation, I really want to see how this plant grew in different mediums, and she grew well in all 3. Like, she really did. Again, I experienced the unfortunate event of my entire collection being infested by spider mites. I think I had maybe 7 or 8. I was okay letting them go. Just 6 of them. I have 2 still, and I'm gonna show you them later. But because of that, and this isn't only with this plant, it's with other plants as well, that I've had to get rid of multiples, you appreciate the plant more. You check up on the plant more. And I liked that. Okay, I'm talking too much, I know. Let me show you. Okay, so she's small because she was a propagation, y'all, but I'm really happy with her. Oh my God, look. Okay, this is the newest leaf. Look how shiny. I don't know. This plant is like super beautiful. You know, I fell in love with her first. Obviously the long leaves. I love how it looks, and also the orange petioles are just everything, guys. Are you kidding? So again, there's 2 plants. So the first one has 4 leaves. The second one, I could not believe how long it took. This is the first leaf of the second plant. And I mean, I needed to be reminded that there were 2 plants because I knew the other one didn't push out any leaves. So you could see the 2 stumps here of the single node cuttings, but oh, I'm so in love with it. Can you believe, guys? I just can't believe I still have it. I'm gonna attach a moss pole to her. I can't wait for her to grow. She is just everything. But oh my God, remember when we all used to call this plant the billietiae? Oh my gosh, memories. And so yeah, I guess it was another factor why I think this is so special, like having a specimen look this way now, because it took so long and I grew it from like a node. The third plant is the, I almost said Hoya, Philodendron billietiae. Okay, let's do one that started out uncommon and is now in every big box store. The 4th plant is the ZZ Raven. Man, when I saw this plant, oh my God, I was so shocked. I already had a couple ZZs, like I had one at work, I had one here. I ultimately just loved how they looked and how easy they were to grow. At that time, I was an underwaterer, so, you know, having a ZZ plant and me being an underwaterer, it's gonna do well. I guess here's a picture. I bought this plant and I'm pretty sure, oh gosh, I'm gonna say how much it was. It was between $80 to $100 for this plant. Oh my gosh. Obviously 2019, this is before we knew how mass produced these plants were gonna be. Bad investment, Kevin, I should have waited. I thought it was wild when I heard that you could propagate this plant with just the leaf. But you cut a leaf off and you put it in water, you put it in moss, you put it in whatever. So I want to try it myself. I propagated a lot in water. I propagated a lot in moss. I propagated a lot in soil, and I did LECA. Wow. The mother plant is with my mom, and she's still alive. So I really put a lot of energy in making sure these single leaf cuttings would produce plants, and they did. So there was a point when they became little small plants where I took them out of soil if they were in soil. I just want to grow them all in LECA. You're gonna be a ZZ plant that lives in LECA and likes LECA. You know, she's on the ground right now, and I don't appreciate her as much as I should. She lives in my living room behind my couch. So the only time I look at her is like once a month when I change the nutrient solution. So I'll just grab her. Can you see? She is so pretty. Oh my gosh. Yeah, she's dusty, I know. Like I said, I only check on her once a month. I just love how big these plants are. Like, look at these stalks. Like, super crazy. And yeah, guys, I know, I said this a year ago too. I need to repot her, but I feel like she's fine. I almost like ate her. I'm gonna show you what's happening with the net pot because she's busting out. Look at her. Look at this rhizome busting out of this net pot. But yeah, this plant really taught me patience. And like, I do see myself as a pretty patient person. Do y'all own a ZZ Raven? because again, another plant I don't see in people's collections, even though it's very common now. Just amazing black leaves, like come on now. Okay, so the fourth plant is the ZZ Raven. Okay, the fifth plant is a baby now. She's kind of the same size, you know, when you compare it to what she looked like when I first got her in 2019. But the fifth plant is the Alocasia Silver Dragon. So the reason why the mama isn't here is because she's dying at my workplace. If you missed that video, I posted it a week ago and it's not doing that great, but she's bouncing back. I also have a video that I recorded on my phone from 2019 when I unboxed it, and yeah, here it is. So this is the first one. It's so cute. So this is the Alocasia Silver Dragon. It's a baby. So cute. Yeah, I was so excited, guys, because before this, like the only other Alocasia I knew of was the Alocasia poly, which is like very common. And like now that this plant is common or more common, like that's just so wild to think about that this was like very hard to get before. My first Alocasia that I put into LECA, and she loved it, guys. Oh my gosh. Here's a picture. She's so cute. Oh yeah, I bought two at the time. So look at these two babies. She grew so well in LECA. But this was a plant, again, that doesn't like sitting in water, or the roots don't like sitting in water for a prolonged period of time. I decided to transition them into pond and also a bigger pot, just so the roots didn't have to sit in the water. I took her to work. Here are a few clips of me bringing her to work. And yeah, she did fine. So before I left her at work, I took a couple corms. That's what I'm gonna show you today. Okay. We're back at the beginning. Yeah, she's doing so well. You can see in this window some root growth right there. And again, because this is my only one, like I look at her all the time, I pay attention to her all the time. So yeah, I'm really excited to start a new journey with this corm. And yeah, we'll see what happens. The fifth plant is the Alocasia Silver Dragon. Okay, so the sixth plant is the Philodendron brandtianum. This plant was so annoying before. Didn't know it needed a lot of humidity around the leaves in order for them to unfurl unscathed. And you know, it was a very frustrating plant. When I first got her though, I mean, I guess it grew in greenhouse conditions with high humidity. And again, here's a clip that I recorded on my phone of the unboxing, and yeah. Okay, big reveal. This is a Philodendron brandtianum. I don't know. I don't think it's brandtianum. She was in an aeroid mix. I kept her in an aeroid mix. And the leaves would grow, or the plant would grow, but they always would get stuck. Petiole would push into the leaf and result in holes. Because she wasn't looking that great, took cuttings. I decided to propagate them in water and moss. Didn't really have issues with either method. I made this moss pool, and this is before I knew a lot about moss pools. I was like, yeah, they just need something to climb on that's like rough so they can hang on to it. But at the time, this is when I had a humidifier running at all times, so I just put this plant next to the humidifier. And I kept extending the moss pole, and she grew so much. I'm not sure which video it is, but I'll find it later. I'm just gonna put a clip of how tall this plant got. So I guess I'll grab her. Can y'all see? Okay, I'm just gonna grab her, y'all. I have to, it's like the size of the doorway. Like, can you see this, everyone? I don't know if it's too dark, but can you see how tall this is? This is crazy. And I don't even know how to show you guys. Like, this is how tall it is. Like, can we take her in? I'm afraid something's gonna snap. But yeah, she's this tall. It's almost falling. Yeah, super insane. I just had to cut her down. Oh, okay. She is so beautiful. Look at this. I can't even show you the whole thing. I'm holding it diagonally. Such a beautiful leaf, guys. Like, what? What? And yeah, the new leaves. Okay, now that she's getting tall, this plant is kind of offside to my shelving unit where there's a lot of grow lights. So these leaves up here, they're starting to yellow. and I'm pretty sure it's the grow light. I'm just so excited, guys. You know, before I felt like I was just managing the plant and not like appreciating it because it just kept growing and it wasn't on a moss pole. So now that she is, like, I cannot wait, guys. A plant that does require a lot of humidity around this, I was gonna say roots, and then I was gonna say stem, the leaves. And I did have a situation, if you watched one of my plant tour videos, where I forgot to water the moss pole. She poked a hole, but I freed it and she's doing okay. So what have I learned from growing this plant? This plant really made me try moss poles again. You know, there was a phase where I was doing a lot of coco coir planks, but now I'm kind of a believer again. I just feel like I didn't know how to manage them properly before. This plant is frustrating. Like, don't get me wrong, I don't run my humidifier anymore. Wintertime, this room probably gets to about 30% humidity. I am really trying to keep on top of watering this moss pole just so there's a little bit of a microclimate around the plant and the leaves, and it's been working out. The 6th plant is the Philodendron brandtianum. This one I'm very excited about. The 7th plant is the Hoya australis LECA. I remember when I bought this, again, September 2019, the colors and the pattern like got me. And again, at the time, I only had the kerrii. Very new to Hoyas. I just heard that you really need to dry out your Hoya, or like Hoyas can take an underwatering. And so I didn't touch it for like a month, and she was in one of those, like, I guess like a 2 to 3 inch pot, and I didn't water her for like a month because I was so scared. Like, everywhere was saying like Hoyas, like, don't water them so much. Anyhow, she basically did nothing until I put her into LECA. Oh wait, there's a video of the unboxing. Let me put the video here. This is the second one. This is the Hoya australis LECA. Threw her in LECA, my first Hoya in LECA. So crazy. What a journey that started, wow. So she took off foliage-wise. I don't know if it was a year ago or a year and a half, but she bloomed for the first time. And you know, at the time I was like, they look kind of angry. Like, I remember when I started collecting Hoyas, I wanted them to bloom. Every single one I bought, I was like, my goal is to get you to bloom. Oh, let me just grab her. She's so stunning. Look at this beast. Can we take her in for just 1 second? One of my first Hoyas, along with the kerrii. You know, looking back, I cannot believe, Future Kevin put in a picture, I cannot believe that plant started out as that cute little thing, and now she's just going off. She's going off. Super gorgeous, guys. Okay, the 7th? Is this the 7th plant? Hoya australis LECA. Okay, I actually can't count. There's 2 more. The next plant was a gift. Definitely not on my radar, and I definitely wouldn't have bought this plant if it wasn't like shoved in my face. The 8th plant is the Syngonium wendlandii. She's in pieces right now. I think I showed this plant recently in a plant tour video, but let's pop in that clip from September 2019. And this is the last one. Oh. I don't think I ordered this. That's weird. I'm pretty sure I didn't order this. It was in my shopping cart, but I ended up taking it out. But this is a Syngonium. Let me find it. Hold on. I have the name, but I'm still gonna butcher it. It's the Syngonium wendlandii. I don't know. Yeah, guys, I was shocked. I was like, I didn't order this plant, but cute. Also, I didn't know at the time that when this plant matures, it loses its silver and it just like grows these lobes as it matures. At the time, mine was growing pretty big. It did develop lobes. At the time though, I was like, I like the silver. And I mean, guys, I'll throw in another picture when it's full of like juvenile leaves and you see the silver off that dark green. So good. I propagated her. She grew a little bit more and started to mature, chopped her back again. I don't know. There was a time I had like a big pot of this plant. Currently, she looks really sad. Kind of embarrassed to show you. Okay. See, do you know what I mean? Like, this leaf looks crunchy, but she has the lobes. I think because a lot of these were kind of like top cuttings, like you can see that even new leaves, like this is just unfurling. She has the lobes already, even though she's like a juvenile or new leaf. So yeah, here's the one. She looks so crunchy. I feel like I want to cut her more though, because like I want leaves to look like this again. But I think because I kept chopping from like a more mature plant, we'll see guys. I'm definitely gonna put her on a pole, moss pole, and you could see that I have these cake dowels all ready to slot in a moss pole. So super exciting. The 8th plant is the Syngonium wendlandii. Okay, the last plant. I'll be very quick with this plant because I don't think there's much to talk about. But the last plant is it Dracaena masoniana or is it anglioensis? Dracaena angolensis. Before it was Sansevieria cylindrica. That was easy to remember. But here's a picture. So the plant that I have is not this big one that you see. It's this small little pup that I'm pointing at. I took that pup. I didn't really document, the journey, but she's in an aeroid mix. She's been in the same aeroid mix for like 2 years now. She's an oddish planter that Marion, I know you're gonna get mad if I don't shout out that you gave me this as a gift. But here it is. So this is oddish. Look at her. So she started out with just that one. It might be this one, but now she's pushed out 2 additional ones. So she's like a really full plant. If y'all have any questions of where my friend got this planter, it's 3D printed from Etsy. I'm not sure if that same person is selling it, but I'm sure if you Google like oddish planter, there's a bunch that come up actually. But isn't she cute? So she lives in my living room right now. I just really appreciate how easy this plant was, and yeah, I love her so much. She's like so cute. But yeah, the last plant is the Dracaena angolensis. Okay guys, I guess that's it. 2019. I thoroughly enjoyed filming this video and just looking back, and I'm really excited because as the years go by, there's gonna be like more plants per year. Like 2020 and 2021, it's gonna be a lot. I think I did talk about these plants a bit more just because they do mean more to me, which sounds awful, but I think there's like more history with them, that there's a reason why I've kept them for this long. Did you enjoy this kind of video? You better, because I'm putting out 3 more videos in this series. Let me know what else you want to see when it comes to content. I'm kind of also focusing now like what kind of content I want to put out in 2023. Do y'all still have those plants that were your first plants when you started loving plants? Like, do you still have those plants? I said plants so many times. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. If you've made it to the very end, thank you guys so much. I greatly appreciate it, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.